perfect world, probably would have done a little more stretching before I pushed that live button. But as we often say, the world is not a perfect place. The world is not a perfect place. Or perhaps it is a perfect place, and the only thing stopping it from being perfect in our eyes is our want, our need, our desire to expect things to be different than they are. So maybe if we can change our thoughts and accept things as they are, the world suddenly goes from this confusing, bubbling, boiling cauldron of lava to some symphony of events. I don't know about you, but thinking of it as a symphony of events that's taking place just as it should, makes me feel better than maybe in a bubbling cauldron of dangers and lava. But that's just me. I'm just one man, going through life, doing the best he can, drinking some water, waking early, seeing a bunch of, in a extended stay, by the way, seeing a bunch of clothes on the floor that need done, realizing it was on my to-do list to get laundry done today, knowing that it was like 4:50 in the morning and that I wanted to start my live talk show at about 5. So I still had a few minutes left. So I thought I could be productive as possible. Pack up my laundry, go downstairs to the laundry room, put the load in, push start, pay. Not in that order. I had to pay before I pushed start. And work my way back up here to sit down and get in front of you. Hello, Truly. Hello, Susan. User Andrea, Soph, Charlie, TK, Jordy. And good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday morning. And it is, I think it's November 5th. I think it's November 5th. And I mean, no, when I say I know it's just about 5:07 a.m. Happy Tuesday. This is a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings and kind of going through life and making the best decisions I can for myself and those that I love. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Hello, Josh Agrand. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I'm pretty darn excited to take my first sip. Do you want to know how I picked the brew today? We all know the Starbucks pumpkin spice is my favorite. We all know I like a little variety in life. We all know I'm a frugal shopper. from time to time and like values. And sometimes I'll take a value even over my preferred pick. I mean, a lot of times I will. Yeah, otherwise I'd have all bags of probably Starbucks pumpkin spice over there. So the frugality not only saves me a little money, gives me the opportunity to explore other options and get other varieties. And today I'm digging into another option, a more frugal option than the pumpkin spice. And I have in front of me a hot cup of the hazelnut that I purchased at Aldi about 3 weeks ago. It's certainly not my favorite, but it's certainly pretty darn good. And there wasn't a ton left in the bag, but there was honestly more than a pot left in the bag. And I looked at my counter, and my counter was a mess with varieties and flavors and brands. So, wonder if I can empty out this coffee bag into the strainer and make a pot and kind of kill two birds with one stone, if you will. Hello, Sandra Lynn. So that's what I did. I picked up the hazelnut, dumped it in, go, wow, that's going to be a pretty strong pot of coffee. Bet it'll taste pretty good. I think it's time to find out right now. And I'm excited to have my first sip at this early hour on this Tuesday morning. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, I'll tell you what. Honestly, I thought it might taste like tar because I put in more than I normally would. Oh, I'd say it tastes almost perfect. I would say it tastes almost perfect. Truly's drinking frosted gingerbread. Josh Mack says he does not have a cup of coffee, but he will as soon as they stop to load his truck. Truck driver, Josh Mack. Wonder if you're cross country or you work locally. Wonder what kind of lifestyle that is. I don't think it'd be a good lifestyle for me. A lot of times people suggest, thank you, Pammy. A lot of times people suggest I drive a truck. I'm a guy that needs housing, has got four beautiful kids and two ex-wives. Sometimes I jumble the numbers together and struggle sometimes to keep a roof over my head and driving a truck over the road could accomplish both, but I wouldn't do well in that. I love my town. Good morning, Sue. I love my town. I love Naperville. I love the people in it. I love the little house I'm dreaming of. Did I tell you what that house is like? It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, split level with a nice little yard and a 2-car garage for my Audi A6. I'm still picturing, imagining the color of it. I had a black one. I couldn't afford the black one. I no longer have the black one. So now I am manifesting, dreaming, envisioning what I'll have in the future. And I don't know if I'd get another black one just because I might want to mix it up and try a red one. Oh, and there will be spots for my 2 scooters, the one I currently have, and a whole bunch of toys for my kids because they're going to be spending a lot of time at this house. And it smiles to think about. Because I know I can get there. And it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when, if I follow God's plan for me. And although God's plan for me might not be the way you would do it, or you should do it, and what I'm doing might not be right for you, and what other people are doing wouldn't be right for me. And that's why, and I come out very confidently or boldly, or some might even call it narcissistically. And believe me, I've been called that. And I go, I don't even know what that is. A narcissist. But this is who I am. And if this is your definition of a narcissist, you know, I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to keep being me. And I think I'm meant to be me. And I feel good about who me is and what I'm doing. And the fact that I'm staying in an extended stay and working as a waiter and doing a coffee show and dreaming of a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath that 4 years ago might have been $300,000 here in Naperville, and now is probably $549 at least. And yeah, so it's making me work harder. So God's dangling a little carrot out. I mean, it's not even really dangling. I mean, it's honestly pretty far out there right now, that house with the 2-car garage. Did I mention it has a red Audi A6? Did I say it's red? I think I did. But anyway, it's out there. Sometimes it feels like it's getting close, like days I have super popular videos here on TikTok, or days I get huge tips at the restaurant, or days that for some reason my relationship struggles seem to go away and life feels a little bit harmonious. Then there's days that it doesn't feel that close. And the carrot, remember what the carrot is for anybody that's just tuning in. The carrot is my little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, split-level ranch here in Naperville with a nice yard, a 2-car garage for my red Audi A6, my 2 scooters, one my Suzuki Bergman, the other one either a Honda Metropolitan or a different one, and a bunch of toys for my kids. I think there might even be a white picket fence around that yard. Will there be a tire swing in the backyard? If my kids want a tire swing, there'll be a tire swing. Will there be somebody to share it with me other than the children? I don't know. Will I have a wife or a better half or somebody else to share that dream with? I don't know. And maybe that isn't that relevant right now. And maybe if there's somebody out there that has that same dream, with a guy that is currently staying in an extended stay, doing his laundry at 5:15 on a Tuesday morning, who's very confident in the path that he is on, and waiting tables and doing the best he can. If somebody's out there that wants to share that with me, maybe we'll align and maybe they'll share it with me. But that right now isn't a fully part of the dream. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Truly says the only relationship that matters is the one with yourself. I would say, as a guy that goes to a Christian church, and this isn't my belief necessarily. This isn't my belief, but I'm just kind of having conversation. A lot of people, and I don't know if it's just Christianity, it could be all sorts of religions, but at my church, they would say the relationship that matters most is your relationship with Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that to sway you guys. I'm just swaying that like a guy that would be having a cup of coffee in a coffee shop and wanting to have a discussion about that. And I don't even know if I want to have a discussion about that. But that was the thought that came to mind when I saw that comment. The relationship we have with ourselves. Good morning, Walk with Lynn. Thank you for the roses. And the reason I think that's relevant is Because we, as human beings, have doubts in who we are and what we're doing and the choices we make. And to Christians, Jesus Christ has perfect love and perfect forgiveness and perfect understanding. And if I don't know, and I don't want to be retelling the story because I'm not any sort of Bible scholar, but my thought is right now, if we can find a relationship with him, because we know he always loves us, even though we might be laying in bed and saying negative things about ourselves, we can find comfort in knowing that we're not alone and that he loves us just the same as we are. And we, as imperfect humans, might doubt ourselves and might worry and fear and fret and not move forward with confidence because we are humans. And we are, and I'm not even trying to get on a biblical blowhorn and tell you guys at all. I'm just some guy at a coffee shop exploring my thoughts on it all. So since we are humans, Truly said I sound passionate about it. I don't know. I'm passionate about it as a discussion. I'm certainly not evangelizing here or telling anybody what to believe. But I'm thinking, as a guy that has lived scared out of his mind most of his life, that every decision he's going to make is wrong. And, doubts himself at every turn. Going to church and hearing the words that I am loved and I should not be afraid, I find a lot of comfort in. And I don't even know how much I believe those words. And I say that a lot, and I'm not trying to be negative on anything, but I'm just trying to be open and honest and say, if it's helping me, even as a person that was raised agnostic and still doesn't know where they are on their path of faith, it still gives me comfort. And sometimes I find myself singing along, going, I can't even believe that I am singing these words. But I think they sound pretty good coming out of my mouth because I'm singing with some confidence and they're making me feel good. And sometimes I'll cry while singing. So that could be, I don't know, look at that any way you want. But that's just my experience. And that's what's fun about my show. Because I'm not trying to tell you to go to church or whatever, but I'm going to share my experiences. I'm going to share living in an extended stay. I'm going to share waiting tables. I'm going to share struggling financially because I had 3 slow days of work this weekend. And I'll tell you what, some people out there make fun of me staying in my extended stay. But for a guy that's been in much tougher spots, I'll tell you what, it feels good to be grateful for it and be grateful for the bed. Because I've slept in a car seat, not a little baby car seat, but the front seat of an Audi A6 while I still had it. And it wasn't too bad. I was thankful for it. One day, it was like 103 degrees out. And at night, it got down to like 85. That was as cool as it got that night, and it was humid as heck. Oh, that was a tough night, I'll tell you that. That was a tough night. But I still managed to get up and fold up my blanket, because I still need a blanket. It's weird, because a blanket is generally to provide warmth. But it's also, I think, to provide a feeling of protection, if you will, something to snuggle with. Because I couldn't just lay there. You know, I had to cuddle with something, my little green blankie. Go to my Starbucks, shave, do my coffee show, finish up my coffee, and then head off to Target and go to work. To a job that I kind of enjoyed, but I knew wasn't going to pay me enough money. So when you've been doing that, and you're, yeah, you've lived in nicer homes, and yeah, you've lived a dream, and yeah, you've driven all sorts of German cars before. But when you're in a tough spot, you still are able to find things you're thankful for to get through those tough spots. I'll tell you what, staying in an extended stay with cable, air conditioning, 3 pillows on my bed, a queen-size bed, a refrigerator, a bathtub. I'll tell you what, there's a lot to be thankful for. And I think for me, it's important to remind myself of that. And no, life's not perfect. And no, I'm waiting tables. And no, I don't see my children nearly as often as I'd like. But I'm doing what I need to do to get where I'm meant to go. And I'll tell you what, once you get on that journey, that feels really good. That feels really good. Throwaway Doe asked if it's less expensive to stay at an extended stay than to rent an apartment. All right, we'll just talk numbers. I pay about $1,600 a month for this place. It comes with, I have no utilities. I don't pay a cable bill or electric bill or a water bill. And it feels, I'd say it's less expensive, I guess. I'd say it's less expensive. To rent an apartment around here, a 1-bedroom would be at least that much. And then you'd have to come up with a security deposit, a first month's rent, and cover your utilities. And to me, as a guy that's waiting tables as many nights as I can to cover my expenses and keep a roof over my head, I'm not able to do that right now. Good morning, Silk Prince. So here I am. And it's Tuesday morning. And it's 5:27 a.m. I had a mentally draining day yesterday. I was scared of that day. Taking care of some things that I wish I didn't have to take care of. But I took care of them. They didn't even go as well as I would have liked. But I think they went exactly as how they were meant to. And somehow, at the end of the night, I came to a peaceful conclusion of why things were the way they were. And if I may summarize it up for you and be vague, it's that people are different. And that I'm different. And that you're different. And that she's different and he's different. And that the way I see something isn't at all the way somebody else might see something. And the decisions I make aren't at all the decisions somebody else would make. Nor what they do are they the decisions I would make. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Maybe everyone's not intended to clashing of values, sure. Beliefs, yeah. And maybe they don't even have to be wrong, and I don't have to be right. And maybe there's no amount of convincing that can be done between two people to come to a harmonious conclusion. And maybe, although we don't understand it, and they might not understand it, and she might not understand it, and somebody on this might not understand it, what I'm doing is right to me. And staying in an extended stay and waiting tables and doing my coffee show and going live and doing my laundry and doing in my mind what I have to do. Might not make sense to somebody else. Might not make sense to the people watching out there. But as I saw the other day, what somebody else thinks about me is none of my business. And I see that in my relationships with everybody. Like somebody will do something or say something, I'll go, what the hell are they thinking? What the hell are they thinking? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But that's probably me just being judgmental. And I always believed that we all saw the sky is blue and the grass is green, and that had the same values and believed the same things and the same work ethic and the same principles. And at 56 years old, I'm just coming around to the fact that that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works at all. And maybe, I always say, I bring a super positive attitude to work and work hard. And I think my customers like me and most of my employees do. But maybe my super positive, hardworking attitude annoys the crap out of some people. And it probably always has. And I never understood it. Because I was going, wait a minute. Look at me, I'm smiling. I'm working hard over here. Come on, let's all do it. Let's do it. Let's be awesome. Let's engage with our customers. Show them a great time when they come into our restaurant. I thought we all wanted that, but we don't. We all have a different way of doing things. We all have a different way of doing things. Because we all see things differently. Truly said people are likely jealous. Maybe they're not jealous. Maybe they're not jealous. Maybe they just think I'm doing it wrong. I mean, maybe they're jealous. And what they think isn't any of my business. What they think isn't any of my business, whether they think I'm doing it wrong. Because I think they're doing it wrong. But that's none of their business. So it doesn't make me better or worse. It makes us different. And so, when somebody says something that I think is crazy as heck, and to me, it is crazy as heck. I'm just starting to understand that they see what I'm doing as crazy as heck too. And maybe, or maybe not, you guys agree with living in an extended stay and waiting tables at 56 and doing your laundry on a rainy Tuesday and riding a scooter because that's the only vehicle you have, while you find a way to save up, scrape by, cover your financial responsibilities, dream about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Did I say it's got a nice yard, an Audi A6, and 2 scooters and plenty of toys in it? Did I say that? And maybe to certain people, that's delusional or stupid, or I should get a real job, or I should be working 7 jobs, or punching a clock, or spending more time with my kids, or standing on my head. But to me, I'm doing exactly what I am supposed to be doing. And whether somebody else out there believes that or not, isn't really my business. And what I think about them isn't their business. Gave me some peace last night. What otherwise might have been a very unpeaceful evening. You know what I mean? So anyway, I was laying in bed after I got home last night, thinking about all those thoughts. Decided to work out here in my extended stay and do my push-ups and do my sit-ups and do my planks because I knew that would be productive. And then I went live for about half an hour here on TikTok last night. I don't know if it was a great show or a good show or an average show or a horrible show, but I talked live. I picked up a few new subscribers, created more content because I think that's important. I know it's important. It's part of my dream. It's part of my dream. And we don't always anticipate everything in our dream, you know. The little struggles we have, the little challenges we face, the little conflicts we have. But they're going to be there too. And if we keep our eye on the target, which is our dream and our goal and what we're doing, and feel good about who we are and what we're doing, the dream starts getting a little closer and the carrot starts getting a little closer to our mouth. And that's exciting. Oh, Sean just purchased a 1-month subscription. Sean, I don't know if you're a man or woman, but that is the sweetest thing. And that's the sweetest thing. And I struggle with with subscribing, because a month ago, I had like 4 or 5 people subscribe. And honestly, when people subscribe, I think I make like $3 from it. So Sean, I appreciate that because I know it's real money. Okay, that you're paying for the subscription. And I appreciate that. My struggles with subscriptions was I would ask those subscribing what they want from me to make their subscription worthwhile. Because I'd like to offer some value for anyone subscribing. But nobody ever came up with anything. Nobody that subscribed wanted anything, needed a phone call or a pat on the back or a I'll give you thanks. But I was thought of it maybe as a revenue source. And if I offered something to subscribers, I'd get 1,000 of them. And I'd make $3,000 a month on subscribers. This was the way I think. But nobody came up with anything they wanted from me. And I didn't want to go around and try and guess what could make their experience special. I appreciate that, Laura. People subscribe because of what I'm already doing, and that's sweet of you to say. It's just like an extra tip for my service. I appreciate that. Most people send roses. And so I thought on a subscriptions, because you can send roses or put funny little hats on me or give me a mustache or heart puff me or whatever as a sort of tip for me doing my content. But I thought maybe people that were subscribing were looking for something different or to feel part of a club. And either way, I'm appreciated. I'm thankful for it. But I was just wondering, because I'd like to offer something. I don't want people to have to pay to watch me talk. I do get compensated through uh, through TikTok and the other social media platforms. Not enough, not even close to enough, but it's growing. It's growing. It's growing, and that feels good. Makes the carrot that is the, you guys know. You guys know what the carrot is. I don't need to tell you it again, do I? I will. I will. Should it be a red Audi A6? You know why it's an Audi A6? I think Audi's cool. And I'm not even super into material things, but I am a little bit. But I don't think it's pretentious like a BMW or a Mercedes. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's like understated but equal. And I think it's got a certain understated class to it that I like a lot. And it's big enough and sporty enough, but mature enough. And again, big enough that it can put my two little car seats in the back and move my kids around. Spencer Hughes is saying I should do TikTok shop. I could make hundreds or thousands a month. Have I tried it? I love it. No. I value my relationship with what I am doing a whole heck of a lot. I value the relationship we have out here a lot. And I had a buddy that dove into TikTok shop about 6 weeks ago and might be making a killing doing it. But I watched his videos and I'm going, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sell that. I don't want to make money on junk candy or Doritos. Or, in my mind, I think I'm providing the value I'm supposed to provide doing this. And I think, for me, I think this was what God gifted me with. He didn't give me the gift of doing gags or cheesy commercials for Doritos. I don't even eat Doritos. I don't like how they get on your fingers. I don't like how they smell. They're not good for you. Maybe I could make a buck selling a bag, but that's not what I want to do. Laura said, just brainstorming. Can I do a private live session only for subscribers? What I find most interesting, and truly had a bunch of suggestions a little bit ago for subscribers. What I find interesting, I've never had a subscriber say they want anything. So it's always the non-subscribers that throw out ideas. And I'm not bothered by that because believe me, I'm not a subscriber and I'm trying to brainstorm with ideas to make it worthwhile to subscribers. But the subscribers don't seem to want anything. And I tried doing a subscriber-only video. And nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. I only had like 4 subscribers. And I'm doing this special subscriber video. They didn't even want it. Well, Chip, but yeah, I don't know. Doing lives in downtown Naperville? I don't know what that means. You want me to do my lives in downtown Naperville? It's raining outside. I'm not above doing lives in downtown Naperville. I've done a lot of lives in downtown Naperville, and to be honest, Some of those lives, many of those lives were done because I was living in my car that was parked in downtown Naperville. I once, can I get a little more coffee and tell you a story about living in my car? Hold on. Hold on. I would think it takes a certain degree of either insanity or super confidence, and I like to think it's super confidence on my part, to talk about living in an extended stay or the time I lived in my car. And again, it was an Audi A6. It was a nice car, but it was still in my car. How long? 2 months, maybe. 2 months. It was tough times. Twice divorced, working at a super Target. My rent was about my total income from the super Target job. Everyone says, oh, you should have had a better job. Well, really? Really? Good idea. I didn't have a better job. I was leaving real estate. I was doing what I had to do. And what I had to do was get employed and get some purpose and get some confidence and get my feet back under me and cover my financial responsibilities as best I could. And I wasn't able to cover them all, but I was able to cover the ones that mattered the most to me. And it was a tough decision. And it wasn't really a tough decision. I don't think I had a choice. And it actually kind of felt liberating because I'd been living in a place I couldn't afford. I was living in a place I couldn't afford and stressed as heck every day. And suddenly I was in my car and I go, hey, I can afford this. Wasn't ideal, I promise you. Wasn't ideal. But it felt kind of good for that sense, and that it felt like I could afford it. Tech Warranted says, don't sacrifice myself for helping people on TikTok. Take care of you first. I appreciate your concern, Tech. I appreciate your concern. But I think I'm not that, is the word altruistic or giving or kind or great, that I'm just here to take care of people on TikTok and to help people on TikTok and to share my adventures. I'm also aware that I have 67 people watching right now at 5:45 on a Tuesday morning, and that TikTok appreciates what I'm doing and rewards what I'm doing. And so do the other social media platforms. And that as my viewership rises, so does my revenue. And yes, I made $400 in October on social media. And honestly, that's not a ton of money, but it's money. I used to say the same thing 8 months ago, and I'd say, well, I made $100 or $70 on social media this month. And most of you probably thought, well, that can't even pay my cell phone bill. But here I am, it's November, and suddenly I can pay my cell phone bill, plus a couple other bills with what I'm making. And I am pretty darn sure that you look up 6 months out and that 400 will be $2,000. Tech Warranted says, but you need to make money, bud. I am making money. I'm working tonight. I'm waiting tables tonight. It's not a dream job, but maybe it is a dream job. Maybe it is a dream job. Serious question. How come you are a middle-aged man working all of these entry-level jobs? Well, I don't know that a waiter job is entry-level. I think I do at a very high level. And I think it's very lucrative. Okay. I'd say because as I sit today, waiting tables is the highest income job that I have offered. IBM's not knocking on my door or accepting my resume or my application saying, hey, we want you and we'll pay you $270,000 to work with us. So that's why. Because I don't have any better option. I've turned over rocks. I'll still keep turning over rocks and looking. But a sales job's not going to do it because sales jobs are usually maybe a small base, and I make more at a waiting tables than I would trying to sell something. Yeah, Mary, I appreciate that. Smarks says a 16-year-old could get a waiting job, is what you mean. Well, honestly, Smarks, that's not true. That's not true. You can't be a waiter where I work and be 16. TP. And again, I'm not out here looking for suggestions. Because believe me, I'm a fairly well thought guy, but I'll read it. TP says work at an expensive restaurant, make more money. Believe me, I have put some thought into this and am doing what I need to do. Am in doing what I need to do and have applied to expensive restaurants. And I mean, honestly, I work at a fairly expensive restaurant. I'm not working at a Hardee's. And, yeah. What lines of work have I found most fulfilling? Chris W. asked. Great question. Uh, I think waiting tables feels almost more fulfilling than anything I did as a realtor or anything I did as a stockbroker. I think, can we call this a line of work? And if not, why not? I would say this feels fulfilling as heck. Fulfilling as heck. Talking to 69 people on a Tuesday morning at 6:51 a.m. or 5:51 a.m. Feels fulfilling as heck. And I have realized that I'm good at this. Or else 68 people wouldn't be watching, and I still wouldn't be talking 51 minutes later or 5.5 years later. And I say that not with any conceit, but to not acknowledge one's own gifts would be silly, and to not recognize them and pursue those gifts. And so here I've realized I can get on and drink some coffee and have an audience of people watching me and listening to me and get paid for it. So I would say I find this the most fulfilling. Do I watch other lives and follow other creators who pay their bills this way? No, I don't at all. I don't at all. I've seen a couple lives. There's a couple lives I watch. They're generally hypnotists, and I like their relaxing voice. I've watched a live there's these guys that take wands or something and rub them over bowls, and they make these weird sounds. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I tell you what, that feels great to fall asleep to. But I've watched there's a guy that does a some dieting or weight loss thing. And honestly, I don't believe what he's saying at all, but he seems like he's trying hard and doing okay. And doing what he thinks is right and what he believes in. I think losing weight is much more simple than he's making it sound. And he's getting into all the psychological stuff that is involved in us overeating. And all that psychological stuff just confuses the heck out of me. And if you're out there and you want to lose weight, spend more time being hungry. Because it worked for me and it worked for you. And when you're hungry, your body's digesting your fat. It's going to the stores of fat and digesting them and using them for energy. And honestly, and I don't mean it insulting at all, and I know a lot of people struggle with weight issues, but if you're struggling with it and you really want to lose weight, it's very simple. Spend more time being hungry. And the same is true with if you drink too much. I talk about sobriety. I stopped drinking 3 years ago. And getting sober is not that complicated either. It takes a commitment that many of us don't want to make. And I get that. Like Sean just said, but I like food. I get that you do. And I'm not judging. You like food maybe more than losing weight. And that's totally cool. That's totally cool. It's not an issue at all for me. And if it's not an issue for you, it's not an issue. But I have so many people come out or reach out and go, hey, how do I stop drinking? And it's not that hard. Or it might be hard, but it's not that complicated. It's not. You got to want it. You got to stop drinking. And honestly, I talked about it before, and again, I'm not perfect at all. I'll sit and I'll eat a tub of ice cream. And I'll go, wow, I'm going to gain a pound from this. This is stupid. But I'll keep eating it anyway. Because I don't necessarily really care that much about having a perfect body. I think I'm doing really well for where I'm at. And because of that, I'm able to overindulge in a grotesque sort of manner and eat a ridiculous amount of peanut M&Ms or ice cream from time to time. And when I say from time to time, it could be more often than that. But I really wanted to stop drinking. And so I said, I'm going to stop drinking because moderation doesn't work for me. And honestly, moderation doesn't work for me with ice cream or M&Ms. And I know that, but I don't really see it as a huge problem in my life. And yeah, maybe I have 5 pounds extra of fat around my tummy. I like ice cream. And Sean, you like food. And some people really like drinking. And I liked drinking for a long time. But then I just realized that the impact or the negative effects didn't outweigh the benefits. And I don't even know what those benefits are looking back. I think those benefits were just numbing myself and changing the way I feel about who I am, at least for a while the buzz lasted. And I tell you what, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and I had some thoughts in my mind and some stuff, but can't tell you how thankful I was to not have any alcohol in my system and to have gotten some healthy sleep and not feeling like, oh my gosh, I had 10 beers last night. I need more sleep. What am I going to do? My day is going to suck. Oh, it's okay because at 5 o'clock I'll start drinking again and I'll feel better at that time. Did drinking affect my relationship with my children? I love when people ask that. Yeah, it affected everything. It affects everything. And like, because people ask, did it cause your divorce? You can't say it caused my divorce because it also caused my marriage. I mean, at the most crude level. Again, what did you say? Did drinking affect my relationship with my children? Heck, I probably conceived my children after drinking. It affected everything. It affected how I went to a movie because I'd usually find a way to have some beers before I went to the movie. And it would affect my outlook on the day because I'd be going, okay, well, I got to go here. Maybe I can stop at the Lantern and grab a burger with a buddy. and have a few beers. Call my wife and see if she wants to meet out for lunch and have a few beers. So it affected everything. Everything. I lived in my car. Tracy said, all my mistakes came from drinking. No benefits. Okay, I disagree with that because, like I said, I probably conceived my 4 beautiful children after drinking each time. Not each time. I'll promise not the 4th time. Not the 4th time. Not the 4th one. And I'm not sure about the other 3, but the odds were good. I drank every day. Jeannie said she can relate to that. She quit in May of 22. Best decision. Congrats to you, Jeannie. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. What was there a wake-up call that you knew it was time to quit? I mean, I thought it was time to quit for a long time. Trevor said, but do I think they harbor any resentment because of it, or did you hold it together well? I doubt I held it together that well. I hope they don't harbor resentment. I know they love me, and I know I love them, and I know they know I love them. And I hope for their sake, they don't harbor resentment. For their sake, not for my sake. I hope they're proud of their dad for their sake, and I think they are. Yeah, no problem, Trevor. Again, I'm not. Yeah, as long as I'll answer anything if it's well intended. I get some people on that are saying mean things and trying to hurt me, but I appreciate you asking. Again, I hope for their sake they don't harbor any resentment. I'm sure they. I mean, they're just humans too. I'm sure they're going, wow, Dad yelled at us that one day and he was drunk. I'm sure they have those thoughts, but hopefully their thoughts are how proud they are of their dad, that he doesn't drink anymore and that he loves me so much. And I hope that for them, not for me, because I know they'll be happier in life if they feel that way. But Trevor, I've also learned to let that go. Trevor said, I'm sure you beat yourself up for it. I've learned to let that go a little bit. Yeah, because I think if you don't learn to let that go, the guilt, because it doesn't even have to be drinking. I could tell a friend to shove it up his, you know what, today because I'm in a bad mood or he was mean to me. And I think the way to relieve or to minimize the possibility of repeating the sins you've done is to forgive yourself of those sins. To forgive yourself of those sins. And I think if I was still harboring any great shame, I got a DUI 5 years ago. And I think if I was harboring huge guilt or shame, like I've had people go, how do you deal with the shame? I don't. I'm forgiven. You're forgiven. And I'm blessed and I'm fortunate. And so do I have any real regrets in life? Oh, yeah. I mean, I try not to. I mean, I sure wish things were different. I wish that in an hour I was going to grab my little ones and pull them out of bed. I wish that even my second daughter, I'd be able to see her go off to school today as she head off to school. So are those regrets? Maybe they're regrets. But I look back and I don't think I should be married to either of my wives. I think they're both better off without me. Not that I'm bad. Not that I'm bad or that they're bad. but they shouldn't be with me. Okay, Stop says they have so many regrets. Well, I think that's probably a very unpeaceful. Uh, Tech Warranted says why you couldn't make it work for your kids. Because I don't think you can make it work for your kids. I don't think you can make it work for your kids. I think my kids are both better off not dealing in a toxic environment by two people that weren't meant to be together. And I hate to say that because I like to believe that love is a choice and marriage is forever. Uh, but I can say this safely because my first marriage is long over. She is better off with the man she is with than she would be with me. Was I forced to leave my previous career because of drinking? No, no. Drinking's almost a necessity for realtors, I think. Yeah. So it really is. I think there's a ton of alcoholics that are realtors. I think the flexible schedule and the social aspect of real estate feeds itself to those that overconsume. And I think it was funny. I was thinking about it. I saw a buddy I used to work with that I respect a lot. He came into my restaurant the other day with a friend. He didn't sit in my section, but we still had some nice talk, nice chat. I was very slow. It was one of my very slow days. So I had more, I was trying not to bother him, but we hadn't seen each other in a while. So anyway, I was thinking about it, and he was having a glass of wine, and that's cool. That's cool. But at our, where I worked, we would have like cocktail hours, like little parties in our office every month, or if not more. And we'd certainly have social gatherings, and there was always alcohol served. And I don't blame anybody. But I look back on it and go, wow, that seems like such a lifetime ago because that's not who I am or what I do anymore. And how many beers I would have, you know. Hey, free beer. It was really attractive. And what's funny is I work in a restaurant right now, uh, and it's surrounded by alcohol. And a lot of people wonder if that would be hard, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been. And because I don't want to drink. So I don't. I had a customer say, ask me how my recovery was going or if I'm in recovery. I didn't, and I said, I don't really consider myself in recovery. That sounds like a process. That sounds like a process. I don't drink. I have gone through some hard days. And I still don't drink. I never am going, oh my gosh, my life's falling apart. I'm living an extended stay. I don't even know how I'm going to pay rent this week. Oh, maybe beer's the answer. Maybe I should go get some beer. That thought never crosses my mind. And it would have been the only thought I had 5 years ago. And I think coming to the realization that that was my solution for everything was what caused me to stop drinking. Bet I saved money. I save money every day not drinking. Was it hard stopping? What was my process? Trevor, I'm going to almost laugh at that. Was it hard stopping? No. I mean, it was weird stopping, I think would be a better term. And the biggest challenge I think anybody that's going to stop drinking faces is what the hell are you going to do with your life and what are you going to do with all the time you now have? Because if you drink anywhere. And I didn't, there's people that drink way more than me, but I would drink 6, 8 beers a day, every day. And everything I did rotated around drinking. And when you take that out, you're going, hey, what do you do with life? Do I really want to go bowling, or was I just going bowling to, because they have served beer? It's okay to drink beer while you're bowling. And, yeah. Tech Warranted says, so I have a lot of extra time? Currently, no. Currently, no. Because I've learned to fill it. But if you stop drinking, you suddenly have a ton of extra time. What is my plan now? All right, let me tell you what my plan now is. I'm going to finish up this show here in a few minutes, probably shorter than that. I'm going to download this video. I am going to go down to the laundry room and put my clothes from the washer into the dryer. I'm going to come back up here. I'm probably going to eat 2 apples and some cottage cheese. I have a couple, I don't want to call them work, but work personal things I got to take care of that are still unfinished from yesterday. I'm going to go vote. I have work today at 3 o'clock. I'm going to probably spend 2 hours of my time editing videos and posting these, editing a video from 4 or 5 weeks ago, and posting a few shorts and reels and TikToks. And I'm going to have an awesome, awesome day. And that's what I'm going to do today. And I hope you have an awesome, awesome day as well. And I hope your week started out great yesterday. And I hope you are had a great night's sleep. And that you are feeling good. And that you are loving yourself. And that you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.